In this video, a full breakdown of the entire experience stepping on an NPC stage, but this time on a ketogenic diet. There are so many stories to tell, so we are going to be breaking this video up into 3 different videos. The first one is going to be Friday night, the second one is going to be the entire show day on Saturday, and Sunday is going to be the last one, and then we're going to recap and we're going to do a crash course on the different poses. Friday is going to be a big one because that's the refeed, so that's everything that I ate the day of the show, and there were no carbs at all. Did not use carbs to fill out, used protein and fats to fill out. So we're gonna show you all the results of that. Before we get started, there are 2 very embarrassing injuries I need to address. You will notice throughout the course of this video and a lot of our other content, Instagram, YouTube, around this time, I have bags underneath my eyes, like scary looking bags. They make me look like Emperor Palpatine. That is an injury that took place from popping blood vessels. So they look really, really scary, like I got in a bar fight or something. And the stupid injury that took place that made that happen was basically an entire day of deadlifting and squatting, and a lot of the deadlifts were at a deficit. So there was a lot of blood going to my face. And I've popped blood vessels a lot, typically on leg press. Anything where I'm pushing a very, very heavy amount of weight. I mean, I just went all out the Saturday before the show. It was my last opportunity to really work on my strength. I had seen my strength starting to decline a little bit. So in an effort to bring it back up, at least the best that I could, I decided to completely overdo it. Looking back, that was a terrible idea. The second one is my foot. That happened from dropping the master press on it. If you look in the background of a lot of our videos, it weighs about 800 pounds, and we just got it paid off. Side note, one of the best investments we ever made in our home gym, but unfortunately, I was not wearing shoes, and I'm lucky to still have a toe. So that happened about 2 months ago, and that has a lot to do with me limping around on stage and having it all bandaged up. The judges didn't care, obviously, and it didn't affect my posing too much, I don't think. And if it did, then the posing certainly didn't affect my placings. I think that the placings were very, very fairly judged, and we'll get into more of that on the second, on part 2 of 3 of this vlog.
Hey everyone, Coach Taylor Milton here. Welcome to Skullbellz TV, the official YouTube channel of supersetyourlife.com, where you're going to discover a weekly upload of quick and easy to follow workout tutorials featuring Coach Colt, myself, or one of our athletes to keep your workouts fun, practical, and effective. Our family's latest keto carnivore recipes that fuel Colt's competitions and keep myself and our kiddos strong and healthy. Video uploads of the supersetyourlife.com podcast, now over 100 episodes. Your weekly dose of entertainment, education, and inspiration to fuel your life inside and beyond the gym, and much more. Last thing before we get into the video, we're asking a big favor from you. This has been working beautifully, so if you would please think of someone you care about that would benefit from this video, go ahead and smash that like button, click the share button, and text this video to them. That would mean the world to us. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more exciting content from Skullbellz TV, because our team has lots of meat and lots of muscle coming your way, and I promise you won't want to miss it. When you hit the subscribe button, you'll see a bell icon pop up. You want to click that too, so you're notified every time we release a new video. Thank you so much for the support. It means the world to us. Every like, share, and subscription helps our channel grow and supports our family's hard work. So thank you so much for doing your part too. That's all we ask. God bless you, and please enjoy the
At check-in, baby. Let's go. Day before the show, just got tan And how are we feeling today, babe? I'm saying we because this is a team sport. This is not an individual sport. It's my fearless training partner back there. Zion, can you say hi?
Like I'm
Girly girl. She's like, I'm out. She's got a big day ahead of her tomorrow too, because she's gonna be backstage with me and gonna be helping me calm down in between the 5 categories that we're doing. Everybody's like, you're doing 5 categories? And I'm like, yep. They're like, that sounds stressful. And I'm like, that's why I decided to bring my emotional support animal with me. She has not missed a workout this entire prep. 6 months, every single workout, dog's right there with me. And,
How are you feeling?
She is definitely gonna be backstage with me, and we might even try to sneak her on stage, but I don't know. We'll fill it out though as we get close. How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I'm finally feeling better now. Like I'm feeling like it's been stressful. You know, the ideal peak week is like you want to be relaxed. You want to let your water you don't want to be retaining any water, and so that helps if you can minimize stress as much as you can. But I mean, like, I got these damn bags under my eyes, right? That's sleep deprivation. That's what that is. The red bloodshot eyes, that's from
Blind blood vessels in your eyes.
that's from popping blood vessels, which is something that is that has actually happened quite a few times over the course of my bodybuilding career. I don't know why I'm so susceptible to it. Like, I don't see other people going through it as much, but I mean, I push myself hard and I push myself heavy, and it's always on leg exercises. And I went crazy on legs
Like Monday.
last Saturday, yeah, because I think I broke 180. I got underneath 180, and I haven't been underneath 180 pounds in about 5 years. I'd say if there's anything I could have done better this prep, I wish I would have held on to a little bit more muscle, but I don't know. I'm still pretty full, but man, I'm way more shredded than I've ever been in my entire life. So that's the real victory, you know, and that's something I was able to do on the ketogenic diet. I don't think that let me put it this way. This diet feels better. This prep has been easier than my last prep, and I got way leaner with this approach than I did having carbs in my diet.
And you're more successful with your diet.
Yeah, I was more successful with my diet too. I didn't have any bad days, didn't binge eat the entire prep. Kept vegetables to a minimum, and it was pretty much just everything meat-based, animal-based, except for avocados. Love my avocados, man. Good source of potassium. It's not a vegetable either; it's a fruit. So I think that's one of the reasons that people on the carnivore diet are particularly okay usually with avocados. So other than that, how else?
What's your plan tonight?
What's my plan tonight? First thing I'm gonna do when I get back is pose. Gotta get our poses nailed down and compare them all to how they looked this morning at the first meal. Before the first meal, had a big bowl. How much bacon did I have?
I think 5 ounces.
5 ounces of cooked bacon, so like 5 pieces of bacon, and then 4 ounces of shredded pork, pulled pork that my beautiful wife made. And everything was covered in Celtic sea salt, and I had an avocado too.
Okay, first of all.
So that was my post-workout meal.
Okay, but seriously, who in their day before stepping on stage can say that they got to eat avocados and bacon and pork for their meal? You're not eating bland chicken and rice and sweet potatoes.
Like, those are all the foods that people cut out of their diet,
yeah.
You know, and I kind of laugh every night. I'm like, I'm eating steak, and everybody else is eating tilapia, and I'm eating chicken thighs, and I'm
bone in, skin on.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Lamb, steak, ground beef.
No rice, no sweet potatoes.
No vegetables.
No vegetables, none.
not a single vegetable. Which brings me to the next thing that Taylor was asking. She's like, what are you gonna do tonight? Tonight, after the posing, taking a big bong hit. Taking some, I'm doing a blend right now that's been getting me through this entire prep. I've smoked weed every single night this prep. And the reason for that is because I've been a big whiskey drinker for the past
Since you turned 21.
10 years, ever since Taylor and I have known each other, ever since I went to college. But I mean, it's, you know, it's not something that I drink a lot of. But alcohol in any amount is very much discouraged typically on ketogenic diets because it knocks you out of ketosis. And so I made a decision to cut that out of my prep. And marijuana has been something that has been extremely helpful in my recovery and my sleep, owning 2 businesses and having a couple toddlers. Being able to shut my brain off at night is very, very challenging, not to mention the training that I've been going through and this foot injury that has been 2 months. My body's been in a lot of pain. Basically, the joke is, whenever somebody asks, Colt, what are you training today? Or like, what do your workouts look like? I'm like, dude, I work out a lot and I work out hard. And I train whatever doesn't hurt and whatever is not injured. That's basically what my workouts look like. So, and even up through this week, you know, this has not been a typical peak week for me. This has been a...
We registered 3 clients this week.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is just, like, I feel grateful to be alive. I feel grateful to be in the best shape of my life right now, really. But this isn't a one and done show. I got another show in 4 weeks, so like this can't really be a normal peak week. I can't just slack off and go high reps on everything and like treat myself to massages and stuff like I'm supposed to. Like I just don't have those kind of luxuries right now at this point in my life. And so I need to be thinking long term. I got 2 more shows to do and I can't lose any muscle. So when I got down below 180 pounds, I just was like, I'm done cutting. I can't cut anymore. I have to fill out and I have to lift heavy. I have to take advantage of these next few days before I can't lift heavy. You don't want to lift heavy right before a show because it makes you retain a bunch of water weight. So today and yesterday I did not lift heavy, but I've been training hard just like any other day. All the way up through basically Wednesday of this week, and Saturday was I just went all out, you know. I just went as heavy as I possibly could on legs, trying to get some of that muscle back, trying to keep from losing any muscle coming into this show. So that's basically been this week, and today the goal is just I have to relax, I have to unwind, I have to get a good night's sleep, and that's priority over basically everything right now. So Everly and I are gonna have a father-daughter date night, and Taylor's gonna be a part of that too, obviously, because it's usually...
Am I get a third wheel your date night with your
Fridays are usually our date night. Yeah, but we're watching Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters by Meg Meeker, and I've never really had a night where I just kick back and watch TV with my daughter. You know, usually we read together, so that's something that I'll find really meditative and that'll be good for our relationship. So we'll go to bed on that note, and I'm gonna eat a shitload of meat and drink a little bit of whiskey. Actually, I've been drinking whiskey only on Fridays because whiskey or wine doesn't really matter, but it just helps me sleep better, helps all the meat digest better. I'm going to be eating 350 grams of protein tonight because that will be converted to gluconeogenesis. So it's basically like I'm carbing up, but think of it as like sweet potatoes that take twice as long to digest and they don't spike your insulin. So that's why I like these high protein refeeds, and they're a lot of fun.
You don't spill over.
And you can't spill over. Yeah, exactly. Because I've spilled over on carbs before and ruined my performance at a show. and that's a nightmare.
And you look awesome the next day.
Yeah, best shape of my life on Sunday, the day after. But this is so much less complicated doing this show prep without carbs. So excited to see how we fill out tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, after we pose, I'm gonna smoke what I've been smoking most this prep. It's a 1-to-1 CBD THC blend called White Widow, and it's magnificent. It's wonderful. It's a sativa and a CBD blend, so it doesn't like shut your brain off and make you silly and goofy. I don't use it for recreational use, although it is very enjoyable and I do have fun with it. But it's these last 6 months is I've never smoked pot outside of doing this. Never smoked anything until 6 months ago as far as marijuana goes. We joke that it's the only green in my diet, but it's something that's been helping my joints recover too quite a bit because of the CBD. And the sativa in it does not ramp up my appetite, and it does not knock me out. It actually makes me very creative. So it enhances my Bible study, because usually I read the Bible for about an hour before I go to bed. Excuse me, I don't read the Bible, I study the Bible for an hour before I go to bed. I'll spend the entire hour on about a chapter, depending on what I'm reading and where the Spirit's guiding me. And then I can pray. I can focus on something if I need to, but it doesn't like make me wired and keep me up. It's really hard to explain how this stuff hits you. But yeah, it's called White Widow. Not encouraging the use of this stuff, but for me, it's actually changed my life. It's been very therapeutic, and it's been very helpful for this contest prep. So it's probably a long answer to how I'm feeling, but that's pretty much it. I feel very peaceful right now because I feel like the battle is already won. The only person I really wanted to beat was myself. This is a drug-tested competition. I haven't taken performance-enhancing drugs.
This isn't drug tested.
Excuse me, this is a non-tested. This is my first time competing against athletes that most of them are probably using performance-enhancing drugs, and that's okay with me. So far, I just really like the NPC Federation. I really do. I really like the promoters of this show that I'm doing. Last year, coaching a client through it was such a fun experience that I was like, that's a show that I would like to do. I would really like to do that one. A lot of our athletes, for whatever reason, are disqualified from natural federations in general, because maybe they're on something that they're
necessary.
Yeah, like that they medically have to be on, that could be classified as a performance enhancing drug, and it's on the banned substance list. So because of that, I've decided to do the same shows as them. We were supposed to have a couple other competitors for this one, but sometimes life happens and other obligations come up, and that's okay. They're actually all still competing, just not at this particular show. So it's just Zion and me this one, which is kind of nice because it gives me the opportunity to test out this new peak week protocol that I've never used before, which is again a meat-based diet. So get to focus 100% on making sure that we master it and that we nail it down, just like Robert Sykes teaches in his book. And then just document all the results and start teaching it from there. Next show is going to be 4 weeks out, and we're going to Zion and I are going to go fly to Omaha, Nebraska, and we're going to coach Melanie through her first show. And by that time, I'll have the butterflies kind of gone, and I'll be able to focus all my attention on her. So that's the plan, and yep, looks like we're just getting back. So gonna go do some posing, gonna smoke some marijuana, gonna drink some whiskey, gonna drink some water,
Drink a lot of water.
gonna drink
Not
a lot of water. Gonna watch a good movie, and we're gonna wake up
Nice and early.
and it's game time. So sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, and this is one of those times. Traffic was bad. We were not able to find a restroom, so that's about 40 ounces of pee. We made it happen. Did not get the peeing on video. One of those bodybuilding stories.
All right, and then doing an evening posing routine. Throughout the week on peak week, you want to be posing all the time. It's something that every single meal, when you're this lean, you're gonna notice very, very subtle changes in your physique. So what Taylor and I are noticing right now, looking back at this video, is my glute striations really aren't showing. I'm looking particularly full, right? Maybe you think that.
Yeah, I think it might just be a lighting issue because your glutes were there.
Yeah. Well, the glutes were definitely there on stage, so I think it was more of a lighting issue. There we go. We're seeing a lot of good striations, especially in the chest from this angle here.
And the abs.
Yeah, every new house, every new gym, you got to figure out where the lighting is to be able to see all the lines and all the hard work that you put in.
It was also 10 o'clock at night, so the lighting was not good. But
yeah, it wasn't the best.
You look good though.
This is a cool picture. That might be like a thumbnail of a supplement video or something. Got to make sure that I put all of our. Oh, can you see the glute striations now? Yep, there we go. They're popping on the bottom now. Made sure I put Celtic sea salt and mostly metabolic nutrition products in the back. Can't thank them enough for this sponsorship. It was literally a dream come true. The fact that they offered to do that and pay some entrance fees and some classes, and just really helped us out a lot. So yeah, it was a good posing session. Oh, looks like I'm throwing in a couple more fun ones. Front double bicep, just to make sure that that my mass is still good, that I'm still looking full. Side tricep, abdominals and thighs. Brandon really helped me a lot with my abs and thighs pose. He has me doing one hand behind the back and one hand over top to emphasize the serratus.
I feel like it really worked.
Mm-hmm. And always end with the most muscular pose.
All right, so this is basically what I ate every day leading up to the show. I like to have breakfast in the morning with just 1 ounce of raw weight fat drained bacon, which is not a lot of calories, but basically just enough to wash some supplements down. And I always break the fast with this. So this is Tripep branch chain amino acids. The only time I ever recommend taking BCAAs is when you're consuming a meal that has a very small amount of protein, because then it tells your body to stimulate mTOR and use that protein what it's meant for. If you take this on an empty stomach, then you're at best wasting your money, and at worst actually setting your progress back, because what happens is it tells your body to build muscle, but you don't have any protein in your system to be able to work with. So we did a whole video on that, and I'll put a link to that video in the show notes explaining all the science as to why that is. Okay, and then these are my supplements that I start the day off with. This competition was sponsored by Metabolic Nutrition, so everything that I'm taking is from Metabolic Nutrition, and it's been like that for years, way before they even decided to sponsor us. And so that's definitely a huge blessing. But yeah, anything from Metabolic, I've never had any complaints personally. Okay, so then that concludes the workout. And then after that, been having some decaf Americano and some heavy cream with a whole bunch of sweetener. I load up salt in it. And actually, I've cut that out since then. I've been feeling a lot better without any heavy cream in my system. So that I'm going to break what is essentially a fast here, which is a late meal, early evening meal. And that'll usually be bone broth with some chicken hearts or whatever organ meat I want to throw in there, and usually Zion and I share that together. And then some bacon later in the day, And then this is usually around dinner time. I like to load up with a whole bunch of protein right before bed and make sure that I'm staying in ketosis around 20 to 30 ACEs on my breath ketone monitor. So usually I track those down there. Didn't have time, but I'm just making sure that I'm staying in ketosis as much as I possibly can, which is why the fat ratio is so high and why the protein ratio is lower than most bodybuilders, and hardly any carbs, of course, basically just whatever's trace. Came into this show banging on about 2,200 to 2,300 calories a day. Got as low as 2,100 for a couple weeks. That was kind of rough. And then bumped it up the last little bit because we got shredded a couple weeks early. So this is show day. Excuse me, no, this is Friday. Okay, this is the day before the show. So this is the refeed. And the refeed, essentially what we did was bumped up the calories about 70 to 80%. Specifically protein. I got really, really full and was able to maintain fullness the entire day. So we'll notice that when we take a closer look at the stage photos on the next video. Carbs are a little higher just because of all the avocados, really. So it's not even really carbs. And then, or at least my body doesn't think of it the same way as sugar. I don't have the same response as I do to actual starchy carbs. All right, and then the fats have a grand total of 243 grams. So about 4,000 calories of meat and avocados. And so, yeah, definitely learned a lesson over this. And this was why it was nice getting stage shredded about 4 or 5 weeks early, because I wanted to test this several times to make sure this worked. Even though I'd tested it last year and knew for a fact it would work. But I wanted to really get our peaking protocol down. So started eating earlier in the day. I've noticed that if I eat all this right at night, like I just wake up stuffed and it's really hard to sleep. Don't sleep as well. That whiskey definitely helped with that. So we decided to spread the meals out as much as we could, ate all this earlier in the day, and then by the time that we finished, the 2 pounds of steak was just absolutely stuffed. And that steak went very, very well with that one finger. That's how you measure whiskey, is in fingers. But that helped to digest the lean steak. Alcohol typically is supposed to knock you out of ketosis, according to most people. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, every time I do this, I end up almost maxing out my breath ketone device the next day. I was at 22 ketones earlier in the day and 22 basically right before starting to eat the bulk amount of the meat, and then my ketones the next day were basically off the chart. I'm pretty sure I maxed it out. So I don't know why this happens. It's really, really weird, but for whatever reason, my body on Saturdays after this huge refeed, which is almost twice as much food as I normally consume, I'm in way deeper ketosis than I am throughout the week. Human body's amazing.
And the moment we've been waiting for is the food. So there's the sheet that we just went over. And if you look really closely, you will see a very nice gift from a very nice man who is a client of ours. Lawrence Espinoza. So I coached him through this exact show that we did last year. And I had so much fun coaching him that Taylor and I both had so much fun coaching him that we were like, you know what, I'm going to do this show. So we went ahead and did it together. Anyway, he's getting married soon, and that is a groomsman gift from him. And we are going to be competing together here in 8 weeks at the Northwest Natural. It's going to be a drug tested show. So that's going to be in November of 2022. I'll still be keto. He is not keto. No shortage of Celtic sea salt on any of our food, especially my food. I just love the salt. And actually, I didn't even cook any of the meat in it because I've been tracking my sodium so meticulously. So being able to dip my meat in the salt has actually been a culinary experience that has just completely changed my life. It's a lot of fun dipping meat in salt. It's a really, really good salt.
How many pounds of steak was that?
that was 2 pounds, a little bit over. Well, that's it for part 1. Hope you liked it. We're going to do part 2 now. And in part 2, we're going to dive into the show day, the placings, and how that entire meal went. That was a lot of food, huh? We ate all of it. Everything that she eats, I eat. We like to share. So anyway, God bless you all. Thanks again so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share if you found this helpful or entertaining. And we're going to get into the second vlog here in a little bit once we get a chance to record and publish it. Cool? Thanks a lot. See you guys soon.